Welcome to 5 Minute Monster, where I help you find the perfect enemies to put in your campaign, all in 5 minutes or less. I'll give you a brief overview of a creature, some tips for running it in combat, and adventure hooks to help you find a place for it in your own games. Today I'm going over some of my favorite critters in the monster manual, Slaadi. Let's get started. Slaadi hail from the plane of Limbo, a destructive realm of crashing elements where bits of other worlds sail around the endless chaos. Surviving in a world with no order, the Slaadi are powerful creatures that look a little bit like a cross between a human and a frog. Think bullywugs on steroids. Though all Slaadi share some basic features, natural healing abilities, devastating claws and teeth, Slaadi can be sorted into different colors, with each having their own abilities and skill sets. One more thing to note is that most Slaadi that are born on the plane of Limbo have a control gem embedded in their head, which when removed, gives the holder control over that monster toad. Remember that, because it'll be important in a minute. Though Slaadi will vary greatly depending on the type you choose to throw at your party, they all have a couple of common traits that are really easy to forget in the heat of battle. First is their magic resistance, which gives them advantage on saves against any spells and magical effects. Next is their regeneration, which, as long as they're still standing, gives them 10 extra hit points every turn. Last are their laundry list of resistances, including acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder damage. Before combat starts, you might want to write a note at the top of your paper or put a sticky note on the back of your DM screen, whatever you need to remember those 3 crucial abilities. Otherwise, your Slaadi will go down a lot easier than intended. Another common trait is their lack of movement ability. Each Slaad only has a speed of 30 feet, and while Grey and Death Slaadi can cast Fly, that's a whole turn that could have been used terrorizing your players instead. Consider having the Slaadi cast Fly before combat if they can get the drop on your players, or pairing them with monsters who can fly or otherwise move around the battlefield more loosely to keep your party on their toes. Finally, anytime you're running a spellcaster like upper level Slaadi, it's a good idea to make sure you've looked up their available spells and know what they can do beforehand. Nothing bogs down combat quite like having to look up the details of every little spell that you want to use. If you're feeling extra, you can even write out short descriptions of each spell in your notes and use little bubbles like a Scantron to keep track of which ones the slot has already used. Or if you're playing online, you can just pull up tabs with each spell effect open. And yeah, that works too. Because they come in all different shapes and sizes, Slaadi can be used to challenge parties at various levels. A great use for these frightening frogs is as henchmen for a larger big bad. If you'd like to have your Uber Wizard or Dying God command more interesting followers than orcs or undead, Slaadi can be very cool enforcers and spies for your villains. While red and blue Slaadi are weaker than their other counterparts, their brute strengths make them terrifying opponents to spring on your party as the lead of a bigger enemy group. Green, Grey, and Death Slaadi, which are black, are more powerful, boasting stronger spells like Fireball and Cloud Kill. But what makes them great henchmen is their shape-shifting ability, allowing them to disguise as humanoids and infiltrate greater society. Imagine your party's shock when the NPC that's been helping them is revealed to be a Grey Slaad, working the entire time for their nefarious master. Because of their shape-shifting, they can be used in scenarios where other monsters wouldn't quite work. On their own, Slaadi are alien invaders that can terrorize an entire village. One such way is through how they breed. Red Slaad implant eggs in their victims using their claws, while blue Slaad infect them with a disease that causes them to transform. Having a Slaad hiding out the edge of a city, capturing citizens to be transformed into other frog monsters, is a great hook that can be placed pretty much anywhere. You can even have some Slaad tadpoles, which only have a CR of 1/8, as backup for a red Slaad your players track down. Finally, because of the control gems in their head, they can be a great final boss for an experiment gone wrong kind of quest. Many mages would want to get their hands on a Slaadi henchman, and when they fail, your players are left to clean up the mess. This could be a great hook for placing a Slaad in an old wizard's tower, a stuck-up magic academy where one professor got a little too ambitious, or a mages guild that went deep into their planar studies, maybe too deep. Because of their versatility, Slaad make great enemies for a variety of different quest lines. That's it for this 5-Minute Monster all about Slaadi. Thank you so much for watching, and if you do end up using some Slaads in your campaign, let me know how it goes in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing to the Bard's College. I make a lot of content about D&D and DMing, and I always really appreciate the support. But for now, good luck, and remember, crit your players.